Hi friends! So May went back to school yesterday and she wants to just talk to you about what her experience of school was like. She was very, very upset to go back to school and just outrightly told us that she wasn't going to go. But you did, and you did really well, didn't you? So she wants to talk about her experience of what school was like, and then I'm going to talk to you about sort of how I felt about sending the children back to school, and then, you know, the overall outcome, which has been very positive. So Maya, talk about your first day at school.
So the first part was I was really nervous and I didn't want to go to school. I didn't really want to, and I was
very upset, home. Weren't you?
Yeah, I just wanted to stay home forever and stuff. But
I can't homeschool you forever.
But yeah, I went to school in the end and it was really fun. I had a really good day. We played lots of games. I won 5 out of 6 of the games. We read a story about a sloth called Sammy, and we've got homework to make our own stories up about a zoo.
What was the significance of Sammy the sloth story to you?
He didn't want to go to school, but he didn't want to because he was very nervous and he didn't want to catch COVID. But in the end he did, and he got to see all his friends then, and he was really happy, and then he couldn't wait till the next day, and that's now me. That's like my day. I can't wait till next week now, when I'm going to go back, and that's going to be really fun to see my friends again.
So what was it like in the classroom?
It's very different. There's not as many tables in there. There's only 6. We've all got our own table each, and they're not all combined anymore. They're just like one small table, and then we're all 2 meters apart from each other. And
do you get your own pack because you can't take your own pencil case, and you can't take your own bags into school, can you? So what's it like when you sit at your desk and you've just started school? What was that like?
So that was quite I don't really know how to say it. I felt quite good about it because I thought, if I'm in school now, it's not going to be that bad anymore. And then I had my own pocket in front of me. It had a dice, some felt tip pens, a handwriting pen, a pencil, and some paper and a whiteboard in there. And I didn't use all, but I used most of that for the day. And then obviously I had my water bottle and packed lunch beside me with my coat as well, because we weren't allowed to use lockers.
So did you have to eat lunch at your desk? And what was playtimes like in comparison to what playtime was like before?
Playtimes are much different. On the top yard, they've got...
Which is where you are, isn't it? You're in the top yard.
I counted, and there's 120 squares on top yard, just in, because it's the massive square, then there's a little square, and in the little squares are even littler squares. So many squares.
What is the point of these squares?
So they're all 2 meters apart. That's for when you go to school, you line up on your own square, and then when you play, because our group, we had the whole of the top yard, so we were running around freely, but we were still keeping our distance and having fun. I was racing and stuff.
Very good. What was the hand washing procedure like?
There was a lot of hand washing. I'm going to say I did it about 7 times yesterday. I came to school, wash my hands, go into class, then wash my hands to go to break, wash my hands after that, and then just so on. So I washed my hands quite a lot.
Good. So obviously after going to school, you just refused, didn't you? For the beginning of the week, you refused to go to school. Didn't matter how your brothers said they felt with their experience, you did not want to go, did you? So from having such a really extreme emotional reaction to the idea of going to school, how do you feel about it now?
I feel much better about going to school. I actually feel really excited for the next week for school. So that's going to be really fun to see my friends again and do some more work. So yeah, that was my day at school yesterday.
Good, and you're looking forward to going back now, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think the thing that's made such a big made everything so much easier is the teachers within the school have really put a big effort into making sure that the children are okay. And your head teacher was outside, wasn't she? And she welcomed you in.
She was really nice. She was reassuring really everyone's, because when I was stood by there, I was like, I don't have a mask, I might get COVID. And then she said, it's all right. We've got 2 metre lines, so you're going to be fine. And then I just felt quite reassured after that.
Yeah.
And then I went into the lines, and then obviously into school.
Yeah, they worked really hard to make sure that everybody felt comfortable going into school. So yeah, so overall, all 3 children have had a really positive experience of school, and they all didn't want to go back. They all had a sort of negative reaction. Maya more so, because I think she understands a lot more with what's going on with this virus and what's happening in the world than the boys, but they all had sort of a negative response but came out so happy. I personally didn't want them to go back to school and didn't want them to go back in September, really, if I could avoid it, but knew it was really important for their mental health. I was really happy with the way that school kept us informed before we had to make the decision to send the children back to school, if we wanted to send the children back to school. And that really helped me and Jonathan, you know, make the decision really to send them back. There are so many children out there who only have 1 or 2 siblings, or even that are single, you know, just one of them have no siblings, and they are probably going to be bored out of their mind, whereas here it is like a constant play day. There are so many kids, you know, they've all got enough stimulation. We've been homeschooling.
Yeah, we all just pair up and go and do our own thing.
Exactly. So they have a lot of stimulation at home. So it's not like they needed to go to school for the stimulation. We've got extras today. And yeah, so I've been really keeping on top of homeschooling, and we've been doing projects. If you go over and check out the Facebook page that we have, you'll see. Yeah. You'll see the science experiments that we did recently. No, we don't need it. Stop.
We don't need it.
So yeah, so I've really tried to keep them stimulated, but there are some things that they can't get at home that they can get in school, and that they need that school exposure. And I've really noticed, and our kids have been so happy since we've been in lockdown. And we've tried to keep a really upbeat feeling and vibe within the house, but they really did benefit. From the minute they came home, they really did, you know, I could tell they had really benefited from going to school. So
it was actually really fun at school. Although we were keeping 2 meters, it was really fun.
Yeah, the playground games that they play, they adapted to keep the distance from each other. The teachers have been really good in accommodating. So I just think if you are worried, we have lots of extras today. If you're really concerned, sort of as a parent, about making these decisions to send your children back to school, I really was. I was really frightened and really worried about sending all the children back to school. But the benefits that they will get from being able to go back to school, I feel, or we felt, were so much more than if we'd have kept them at home. So, you know, they've been so good at school with the 2 metre distance, the hand washing, all those sorts of things. And, you know, there's been kids that have been in school for a lot longer than what our children, you know, they've only just gone back, and whereas they've been children in since the beginning of lockdown. And there's been no outbreaks in school, and these are children that have got parents who work in fields where they're exposed to the coronavirus, and there hasn't been any outbreaks in schools in our sort of area. I know there has been in other places, but there hasn't in our area. So that was really reassuring. I really feel, you know, if you're worried about the schools going back, obviously September is a long way away for some people, but just communicate with them and find out what the procedures are so that you can make a really, you know, an informed decision about it. But I think the benefits that the children get from going to school are, you know, so significant, especially to their mental health.
And we watched some really nice clips on YouTube whilst we were eating, some really funny ones that the teachers had done for us. So whilst we were eating, really nice, like when they were playing with toys, it was really cool.
That's good. So yeah, so I just think, you know, talk to the schools, But I feel that it's been a really positive first week back, and they're all really looking forward to going back next week. So I'm really happy for them that they had that experience, and I'm really grateful to the staff and the school for how they've accommodated the children. So yeah, so that's from my perspective, and that was your first day back at school. So we'll check in with you again soon, guys. Hope you're all staying safe. Bye, friends.
Bye.